So what had you more excited, seeing Kendall Jenner over the weekend or the Mets actually moving on from Robinson Cano? Because we were hopeful that was going to happen, but we weren't sure if they were actually going to do it, and they did it.
I'm just to remind you, yesterday morning, I said, if you're asking me what I would do, this is what I would do. It's a baseball decision, and just strictly baseball, not financial, because part of having the richest owner in the league and having financial strength as one of your advantages, it's $37 million you got to eat for sure. And as Gary Cohen was talking about last night during the game, they sent some money with Jay Bruce and all this other stuff, and Seattle took some money off of it, whatever. So it's $37 million to Steve Cohen, which really doesn't mean anything. And I think it's a message that you send into the fans, like, hey, I'm in this thing for the right reasons. I want to win. I got enough money. I can run all my stuff through this team. It's fine with me if I have a few losses and not pay taxes. Everything's great. And I'm going to do the right thing by the team. And I know Francisco Lindor the day before was like, we want Robbie Cano here. Robbie's such a good guy. He's got such a great personality. He's one of the best hitters. I felt like saying, listen, Francisco, if they don't get rid of Robinson Cano, then another one of your teammates is going, back down to the minors or whatever else. And then that's going to hurt your team. So I know that, we as players, we're people first and then players second. So we do have emotions and we're tied to people, especially if we're from the same country and we speak the same language and we play infield together. And I'm sure for Francisco growing up, Robbie Cano is probably some sort of, idol or mentor or something along the lines. But, he screwed your team. He screwed your team because he did the PEDs and missed a year. He's not playing well. He's not hitting. So it's very simple. And as I told you yesterday, if it were me, I would have just cut him because the strength of our team is not just the team itself, but it's also the owner who's the richest owner in baseball. And they flex their muscles by doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the things that is forgotten when you've got a lot of resources is you always think about, all right, what players can you go and get? How can you add? But another thing that you can always do when you've got all these resources is cover up mistakes, either of your own regime or previous regimes. And that's what the Mets just did here. They were able to cover up a mistake by just getting rid of a guy, eating the money, and forgetting about it. And a lot of franchises don't do that. A lot of franchises, but the Mets probably in the previous iteration of the Wilpons probably would have kept Robinson Cano around and said, hell, we're paying this guy this much money. We got to squeeze something out of him. But Steve Cohen was not doing that. And I think that the fans appreciate that. And just another reason to love where this team is right now. You don't love the outcome of last night's game, but you do love where this team is right now, just from a philosophical standpoint.
Yeah, I think that Billy Epler and Sandy Alderson and the entire front office has got free reign to do the right baseball thing that they think is in their best interest. And the nice thing about this is that you literally have an owner who's wealthy enough to let the baseball people do the baseball things. And they're not always going to come down on them. We also talked yesterday about the legacy of Brodie Van Wagenen, and it's going to be Edwin Diaz, of course. And as they were, putting out the the schedule that's coming up, like I like to do, now all of a sudden everybody's doing it. It shows that Jared Kelenic will be here in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
with the Seattle Mariners, and that was the trade, and that was everybody's worried about all of that. And I guess as Gary Cohen was saying last night, and it is right. Brodie Van Wagenen said, they're prospects for a reason. The other guys are real baseball players for a reason. And I'd rather try to go to bat with real baseball players right now. So as goofy as Brodie was at times, there were certain things that he said and did that made sense. But, it would really be interesting to see what he would be doing under this level of freedom financially.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that is very true. I would like to see that as well, even though I do like a lot of the things that Billy Epler has done. But the ghost of Brodie Van Wagenen is still around because there was quotes of his that were floating around yesterday because he's back to being Cano's agent. So Brodie was speaking about Robinson Cano and how, he's upset and this and that, but he appreciates the opportunity and all that, agent speak that's out there.
Hey, listen, you took the PEDs and you basically screwed the team out of a year. I mean, and you screwed yourself out of the money for a year too. That you remember
that's
they never paid him the money either, which but again, it's like, okay, if you had maybe 4 home runs and 12 RBIs and you were batting .285 and you showed that you belonged here, then you would be here. But because of the way Major League Baseball started this season, and with the way that the rosters had to be trimmed, eventually this was going to happen. It was going to happen to somebody. It happens to somebody on every team. It's not, and it just so happens that it's a mistake that was made. Maybe, the mistake will be overshadowed by the success of Edwin Diaz over the last 3 years, and maybe even this year in the playoffs when we get there. Hopefully we're there. But the whole aspect of it is that they have to clean up what happened before, just like what Joe Shane is trying to do. This is what Joe Douglas is trying to do. This is what Lou Lamoriello was trying to do. This is what Chris Drury is trying to do. All these new GMs, and in this case, a new owner with a new GM, trying to get out from under some of the bad situations and decisions that were made. So it's one of the really more unprecedented things to see an owner do this. But don't feel bad for Robbie Cano.
No, who does? I don't think anybody does.
He's going to get I'll tell you right now. I'll make a deal with you.
Okay, you make a deal with me. He's going to end up on the Braves and hit 400?
No. Oh. Spike Eskin comes in here.
Our program director.
Bad vegan.
Okay. I'm going to give you $37 million, and we're going to let you go. See you guys. I'm out. I love you all, but I got to go.
I don't think ONC has got that type of cash right now.
But I'm just thinking, would you be like Francisco Lindor, or would you be like, oh, thank God he's gone?
No, I would be sad. Are you kidding me? Of course I would be. If you left tomorrow and they bought you out, I would be devastated. I have to sit here and figure out who the hell I'm working with, and we'd be panicking, and Al and I would have...
What would it take? I'd have to bat like 100, right?
We'd be trading back and forth the panic attacks. What are you kidding me?
I would have to be batting 100 or something, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So you'd have to be whiffing constantly.
I'm just all jacked up this morning, man. I got Kendall Jenner on my screen. I got hockey coming up tonight.
You going tonight?
I'm not going to go tonight. No.
You're going to go game 2, you said.
I got to do game time the next 2 days.
Oh, game time, baby.
Yeah, I think I got Braxton Berrios on one of those shows.
Oh, right, very good.
Looking forward to meeting that young man and talking to him.
Going to ask about the matching necklaces with him and Zach Wilson.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, why not?
Okay, I'll ask him.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And what's with the matching necklaces with the two of yous? Is that like a special, you got to say two of yous, too.
Two of yous?
With the two of yous.
I'm not going to say with the two of yous.
Hey, what's going on with the matching necklaces with the two of yous? Yeah.
Is that what we say around here?
Yeah, the two of yous.
The two of yous.
Yeah. Of course
I never really thought about that until you just brought that up.
Yeah.
Not the necklaces, the two of yous.
The two of yous.
And by the way, the other thing that was great last night, watching James Harden for the Philadelphia 76ers. So I caught about 10 minutes of this game.
Guy looks cooked.
Oh, God.
Guy looks like he wants an off season.
They're going to pay him $47 million next year.
Yeah. And he's a guy that cannot wait to stop playing basketball. Like, seriously. Like, he cannot wait for this series to be over to do whatever the hell he wants.
Oh, he wanted to be at the Met Gala last night. And unfortunately, he had to be at this basketball game that they call a playoff game.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he had to go and play in a playoff game.
There's probably a hot club in Miami that he went to afterwards, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Are you kidding me? This is dribble, fat.
Did you think he took the team out with him, or do you think he just went by himself?
He probably went by himself. Met a couple buddies out there. That's what I think.
So I'm yelling at a few of his teammates last night, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Oh, it's not his fault. Why would it be his fault?
But I kind of feel like, he's right back where he was with the Nets when Kevin Durant wasn't playing and Kyrie Irving was unvaccinated.
Yeah, he's going to want out now is what you're saying? He's going to force himself out of there?
I told you he wants to go to Memphis.
Right, join Ja Morant and give it a shot.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.